What's poppin', T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I am here with my all tea, all shade, love and hip hop Atlanta season 10, episode 6 review. Sorry if my energy is a little low in this video. I got the second shot today for COVID. So my arm is a little sore. So yeah, and I'm a little tired. So on tonight's episode, we start off with Kirk and Rasheeda. Kirk is back in town after going to New York to ride out for DMX's passing and seeing his son. When he returns home, Rasheeda surprises him with the new store being somewhat stocked with apparel, so they can get the ball rolling, but he somehow expected for her to have it all done by the time he came home. He does mention, that it was good to see his friends and see his son and his grandkids. And on last week's episode, it was bothering me that he kept on saying, like, we ain't even got a picture together. We ain't even got a picture together about him and his son. I'm like, is it more about you having a picture with this nigga to prove to Instagram or the world that, oh, I saw my son? Like, or do you actually want to spend time with him? Because regardless of the fact of your son was going through his addiction issues and was keeping away from you, you as a father, why didn't you go to him? That really bothered me about last week's episode with Kirk. Like, how you gonna have a whole child that you haven't seen since, I think he said 12 or some shit? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, that's no fucking excuse. And if your child is especially going through addiction, you would think that you would step up even more. I don't give a fuck if you don't want to see me. I'm gonna see you. So that really just rubbed me the wrong way. And I was side-eyeing Kirk even more than I already do. Rasheeda then brings up, her sister Booby and trying to have a barbecue so the whole family can get together. And Kirk was like, so what, they can ask you for something else? And I was like, child, you need to worry about your other kids. That's what you need to worry about, sir. But the one thing that I can say about Kirk and Rasheeda this season is that I think this is the first season since season 1 where they have actually had a true, authentic storyline that wasn't fake. And wasn't put on for the camera. And I appreciate that from them, because for the last 9 seasons, it's been a bunch of fake storylines. So Erica and Safaree segment come up, and I'm only going to talk about certain things when it comes to Erica and Safaree, because I've already exposed that this storyline is fake as hell. As of today, they still live in the same house with each other, child. They are still together. So, oh well, I don't believe shit that come out their mouth. Yandy and Mandy segment comes up. Yandy is at a photo shoot for her Yellow, I don't know how you pronounce it, skincare line. Big Man, Little Man DC is there, Big Man DC is there, Infinity is there, participating in the photo shoot, and Mandy and Yandy step off to the side to discuss Infinity staying with them. Mandisi is like, how long old girl gonna be here, because he still don't trust her ass. And to be honest with you, I don't blame him. Like I said on a few episodes back, after what she did and what she threatened to do, I couldn't trust her to live underneath my roof too, and we try to discipline her or say something to her, and then she fly off the handle and accuse us of something else, especially when Mendices is fresh out of jail. You just can't trust her after she did what she did. Like, I'm sorry, you fucked that up. You fucked that up, and now you got to deal with the consequences of that, because I know as person, I would feel uncomfortable paying the bills and the mortgage in my house and feeling like I gotta walk on eggshells around somebody, and fear that if I say something or do something to them that rubs in the wrong way, they gonna go to the blogs and make up lies about me and could potentially get me sent back to jail. No, it don't work like that. So Mandisi says that, how about we get her an apartment and we pay the first couple of months rent, and she got a few months then to find her a job and get her life started. She's 19 years old now. Let's get her started. And to be honest with you, that's nice, because a lot of people wouldn't even do that for her after what she's done to them. So Yandy was like, Infinity's triggers are being abandoned and stuff like that. And I was like, I understand that she has triggers, and I understand that, she has abandonment issues, but at the same time, you can't do the stuff that she did and think that there's not going to be consequences for that type of behavior, and think that people are just going to automatically open up their arms and their home to you after that type of violation. So Mandisi, however, tells Yandy that he's gonna back her up when they speak to Infinity. So Karlie and Lamar's little segment come up. It is Karlie's birthday, and Lamar is throwing her a birthday party on a boat. It gave me very Casino Queen. The boat gave me very much 1800 saloon. It wasn't giving me yacht. It wasn't giving me like money. It was just giving me tourist boat rolling down the Mississippi. Jasmine, Karlie's daughter, is there. They looking like the Bobbsey twins. And after no, it wasn't couples retreat. After the Love and Hip Hop reunion show with all the people, no, the family reunion thing, Karlie said, she heard her daughter's cries about them spending more time with each other. So she was like, she's making sure that she's very diligent in doing so. So Spice thinks that Karlie threw her own party. She don't she don't think that Lamar threw anything, and I can so see Karlie doing that, but I don't think that was the case. I think that Lamar actually did it. I mean, he ain't spend that much. He literally paid probably $50 an hour for that bullshit ass boat. So Yandy talks to Sierra and Jock's fiance about the whole Infinity situation and everything that happened. And Sierra was like, I can get where she's coming from because she might be fighting with abandonment issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's just projecting all of that she didn't get now onto you. You are her foster mom. So again, he was like, I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Some days I feel like I'm walking on eggshells after the things Infinity has done. Am I wrong for feeling like my peace is now disturbed in my house? Sierra was like, a little bit, but you're human as well. Like, and whatever trials and tribulations that you got going, y'all got going through with this baby, just do it. And I can honestly say this was like the first time that, even though her sentences be jumbled up and she tried to use big words, this was the most sense that I think that Sierra has ever spoken on this show. I think that she gave Yandy very much sound advice. I just feel like I'm siding with Yandy and Mandy on this. I know a lot of people on Twitter were saying that her Yandy go throwing this child away. They did her wrong. Kimbella was right about her. I don't bit mo believe that in the first place. I don't bit mo believe that bullshit. You would have to be a demonic ass person to sit up here and bring a child into your home for several years for a storyline. Like, who's doing it? Who's doing all of that? Like, I know people have gone to outrageous lengths for these reality shows, but like, you got to be a special motherfucker to do all of that. Like, Jesus Christ. I genuinely think that Yandy really wanted to help this young lady. I think that she loves her and she cares for her, but I think that it's too much for her to handle. I think that she bit off more than she can chew with this entire situation. And yeah, that's just how I feel about it. So Yandy, after talking to Sierra, is now second guessing herself on whether or not they should, get her an apartment, or what should they do? Should they let her stay? She's just now regretting it and second guessing herself. So Jasmine sits down and talks to Lamar, and I just felt so uncomfortable watching them having a conversation, because he kept on saying, "You look just like your mama," and she was like, "Thank you." And I don't think she was trying to be flirtatious, but she just got that nature like her mama. And then he looking at her talking about something, "You look just like your mama," and I could so see him trying to fuck with her. It was just weird. So Spice and Yandy have a conversation, and Spice feels that Karlie is moving too fast after this whole Mo situation, and she just wishes Karlie felt and understood that she does not need a man to validify herself. So then Yandy brings up what Mandisi said on Couples Retreat, how he wasn't gonna stick beside her if she ever went to jail. So then we see Mandisi's having the same conversation with, I think it was Jock and Lamar, and or either Scrappy. It was somebody he was talking to about it, and he was like, we worked through it and everything, and Yandy and Spice agree that men are just stupid. Yeah, I just feel like Yandy got a lot of shit going on. She done moved to Atlanta, uprooted her family, her children, trying to adjust to a new city, fighting for justice, for Black Lives Matter. My husband just came home from jail. We trying to learn each other all over again, trying to navigate our own shit. Now I got Infinity over here acting a fool. It's just a lot. It's a lot for anybody to deal with. So Rasheeda is having her barbecue, and her sister Booby and her nieces come, and we find out that her relationship with her nieces is also strained. She feels like she basically only heard from them as well when they want something. So that conversation about them only coming around when they need her comes up, and we find out that the nieces lied to her, saying that a money order or something didn't go through at a quick trip, and she gave them the money, and then she saw them all on social media acting like they balling out, flossing and shit, ain't paid her back her money. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here with this ghetto ratchetness? So when confronted, one of the nieces was like, I asked you for some stuff and I really owe you. Every time I was finna give it to you, I had other important stuff to do. It wasn't me trying to. And she get to crying and shit, and Rasheeda talking about some, all you had to do is say that it's all good. And I'm like, no, the fuck it's not all good. Don't be giving these little girls no motherfucking pass. You gotta teach their ass. You can't be fucking fat and a liar at the same time. The two don't go together. People out here looking at you like all you do is sit up and eat and lie. No, ma'am. That shit is not fucking cool. Them hoes up here looking like the Eminem twins. No, ma'am. Like, no. Y'all already fat. How you gonna be fat and selfish and inconsiderate and not pay people they fucking money back? Times you had other important stuff to do. Excuse you? No, you had to pay me back my motherfucking money with your lying ass. The fuck is going on? At this point, I feel like Rasheeda just need to stop giving them shit, and then you won't have that resentment towards them. Stop. You've done what you could. It's not your responsibility just because you're the one of the wealthy people in your family to then take care of other family members. That's just not how that goes. You give when you can, and if you want to, and if you don't want to, you don't have to, and you don't have to be made to feel like you're being a bad guy because you are in a higher tax bracket than others. Like, no, it don't work like that. So then Rasheeda says to her sister, she was like, Booby, I don't want to have a relationship with my sister where one conversation is cool and next is her asking me for something. And Booby was like, I call you when I feel some type of way about some things about mama. You put a lot of stuff in Rasheeda's head about me like I was this terrible person. And her and the mama go back and forth, and Kirk was like, I don't even have my mama to argue with. Y'all need to move forward. And I agree. I agree because life is precious. Life is short. You never know when your day is going to come and you'll regret not being on good terms with certain people. So Rasheeda was like, I want us to get on some family shit for real. Like, I want us to get it together. And I hope they can find a way. I just think that the boundaries need to be set with one another so that their relationship can grow. But as long as Rasheeda continues to pacify them and give to them, she's always going to feel resentment. So Karlie and Jasmine have a conversation with one another, and Karlie tells her, I think it's time that you know the truth about your dad, because She asked Jasmine had her father reached out to her, especially since she's about to graduate, and she was like, no. So Karlie says, I think you're old enough for me to tell you why you had to live with mommy, meaning her mother. She says, when you were a baby, me and your dad were living in LA. We were married, and his past had caught up with him, and he left. He called me and said, I can't come back. He left me by myself. When the cops couldn't find him, they came for me. I got questioned, and the next thing I know, they started taking all of our stuff out the house. So basically, her nigga was over here living on the edge. He was out here on his Nino Brown type shit. He was out here on his Neek from Raising Canaan type shit. He was over here being a street former sis or whatever, street nigga. And all that shit got taken. So Jasmine, her confession was like, I know my dad went to jail for money laundering, but I never knew my mom's side of the story. When he got out, he didn't even try to see me, but my mom, but my mom always tried to have a relationship with me. So Jasmine apologized to Karlie for not being there for her during her divorce with Mo, and they hug it out, and it was a very, sweet moment. And it's sad that, the little girl daddy ain't there for her, and hopefully seeing the conversation on television prompts him to get up off his ass and be a fucking father. Deadbeat ass nigga. So Safaree mama arrives in Atlanta to see him and Maji and Erica, and she arrived giving us Whitney Houston after a late night crack bend up with that wig. That wig was like whoosh. She shaped like Whitney. That wig was one of Whitney wigs. Remember when Whitney Houston pulled her titty out in that fur coat one night when she was high and let that man like lick on her nipple? Remember that photo? That's what Safaree mama was giving us. Whitney Houston, baby, after a long crack binge with Bobby and Bobby's sister. But I don't even front though. Safaree mama body is everything. Her shape is life. Like, she has a beautiful shape. So they tell her they're having a baby boy. So at some point, Safaree and Maji end up going inside and leaving his mom and Erica outdoors to talk alone. And the mama says, Safaree is a jokester. He's an asshole. He's a jerk. He jokes all the time, but he jokes to cover up, his tears. And Erica mentions how, he's totally changed from the person that she initially married, but she also appreciates the fact that she can go to his mom and talk to his mom to get a better understanding of who he is as a person. The mother, just basically says to her, I hope y'all can figure out a way to work this out because I really want y'all to stay together. And Erica was like, I just love our relationship because I don't have the same with my own mother. And she goes on to say how she's financially supporting her mom, but how her mama didn't come to her wedding. Her mama didn't come to her when she had Maji. Like, her mama is in this depressive state, and so she doesn't have a mom to turn to, and that's really sad and unfortunate. But I remember at some point early on in Love and Hip Hop, King was staying with the mother or whatever. So I don't know where things went left, but it's sad that Erica does not have a relationship with her mom. Like I said, this storyline is fake. I believe that it's 90% fake, probably 10% true. I don't think things is as bad as they pretend to be to the world, but we shall see. So Mandy and Yandy talked to Infinity about, her moving out, but Yandy's unsure on if they should do it or not. They go to the little girl room and they talk to her, and Infinity admits that she hurt Yandy multiple times. So she admitted that she was wrong and that she has fucked up. So they tell her the plan about her getting an apartment and them paying the first few months rent. Infinity says, I'm not ready to live on my own. So she starts to cry. And Infinity was like, I feel like my biological mom is putting me out. I want to fix anything I've done. Mandisi leaves the room because he is uncomfortable. Remember, he don't really know this girl. This wasn't somebody that he himself welcomed into their home. This was a decision that Yandy made while he was in jail. And him being a street nigga, he just don't trust this little girl, especially after what she did. So he just like, what, you need to handle this. I'm gonna ski skirt. Even though he told her he was gonna have her motherfucking back, and I felt like he had her back to an extent, but it was just like, what else am I supposed to really say or do? I don't really know this girl. So he leaves the room, and we see him in his confessional, and one of the producers asks Mendices, is this Yandy's mess to clean up? And he was like, absolutely. And I mean, in all honesty, it is. So, we go back to Yandy and Infinity talking, and Yandy tells her, we're not abandoning you. And Infinity was like, I don't need your money. I need to be around my family. And then we see in her confessional, Infinity says, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be grown. That's her way of just escaping from the situation. Like, she doesn't really want to be bothered. I don't think that's the case at all. And I think that she says shit like that for a guilt trip. Because at the end of the day, when she was telling you to sit your little hot ass down, you wanted to be grown. You wanted to disobey her. You wanted to continue to see this man or woman that you was out here fucking around with that was too old for you. You ain't had no problem being grown in. Huh. You didn't have not one problem being grown then. But now when you have to suffer the consequences of your actions, now it's, I don't want to be grown. Y'all throwing me away. No, no, no. We're doing you a fucking favor. That's what we're doing. Because like I said, most people wouldn't have even done what they're trying to do for her. Most people would have just wiped their hands on her ass and said, hey, you ain't my responsibility. So she needs to be happy that they're even still willing to help her and allowing her to be in their lives after what she said and did. I'm sorry. This is what happens. You have to suffer the consequences for your actions. Period. Point blank in the third. So the little girl ended up leaving the room, and we hear her on her mic crying, and the producer asks her, tries to talk to her and remind her that they care about you. They just trying to do the best thing for her. And then Yandy says that she feels like she has messed up once again. But like I said, I feel like that's just a guilt trip from that little girl. I really honestly do. So, that was my review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Overall, I give tonight's episode a C plus. I like the realistic storylines. I love that they're really tapping into what's going on in these people's lives. But I miss the ratchetry. I miss Monday Night Ratchet. So after this, Mona and them need to get back to their old formula. Give us back the drama. You tried to, tone it down for the people that was complaining about black people getting on television, making an ass of themselves and fighting. But fuck that. We want to see it, goddammit. We want to see both. Can you give us the ratchet and can you give us the real? Give us a mixture of both, because right about now, yeah, it's kind of like boring. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next review. Bye.